All right, gentlemen, our next technique is one of the most important and effective practices that I have found over these many years of study to help us get that energy and blood flow into the erection. The interesting thing is that it doesn't actually work directly with the genitals. It works with what's called a standing meditation. When we do standing meditation, the energy flows into the legs, the blood flows into the legs, and it flows into the groin. Not only that, we're putting energy into what's called the lower dantian, the energy center that's in the center of the body, just below the navel, deep inside the body, in front of the spine. And it's this energy center that feeds our sexual vitality. So it's important to do this practice every day, or at least 5 days a week, for anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. The longer you do it, the greater benefits you're going to have. Now you're going to see a demonstration, and the video will be explaining how to do the technique. The important thing is to understand that if you can devote 5 minutes to this practice every day, it will transform your ability to get a strong erection. Now this is called, in some practices, standing like a tree, from Qigong, or Zhuang is the Chinese name, and it's been used for centuries to empower men to have more sexual vitality. That's number one. Number two is called the horse stance. And this is also a standing meditation, but it's much more intense in that the stance is much wider, the feet are spread much wider, and you sink deeply down into this posture. And you can only hold this for anywhere from a few seconds to 2, 3, 4, and even 5 minutes is an extremely long time to hold this posture. The good news is you get amazing benefits very quickly. Whereas standing like a tree, you can hold for 5 to 20 minutes, and I usually hold for 20 minutes each practice, but just doing it for 5 minutes is a very good starting point. When you do it for longer, you get those greater benefits, but if you do standing in the horse stance practice, you're gonna get benefits that are very powerful in a very short amount of time. Now, there is a difference between these two practices. When you do standing like a tree, you get more internal energy. When you do standing in the horse stance practice, you get more external, more for the muscles. But this is also very important. So I do both, and I try to do both every single day, or at least several times a week. And I start with the horse stance, keeping the feet nice and wide, and you'll see the demonstration in the video. And you hold that, and you let the body relax, and you breathe into your lower dantian, that energy center just below the navel, deep inside the body, right in front of the spine, and you breathe into your kidneys. Remember that in Chinese medicine and Qigong, there's an understanding that the kidneys are the source of our sexual vitality. And when men are ejaculating much too often, which is very common these days, that depletes the kidneys, which makes it difficult to get and maintain a strong erection. So we really want to keep these kidneys strong. And in both of these practices, standing like a tree and doing the horse stance practice, you're going to be relaxing the abdomen, relaxing as much as you can the rest of the body, and breathing into the kidneys. And into this video that I'm going to show you on how to do these practices, you'll see how to find the kidneys very easily on your lower back, just behind the floating ribs, a little bit higher than the lower back actually. And it's very important to keep your kidneys strong and healthy, because this is what's going to contribute to getting and keeping a strong erection. So try this practice, and you need to do this for at least 2 weeks. Give it a try for 2 weeks, and you'll start to see transformation rather quickly. Your legs will get stronger, not only, but you'll also get more centered, more grounded, more focused. Mentally and emotionally, you're more stable. So it has a host of benefits that are physical, energetic, emotional, and mental. And that's why I love this practice, because it works on all the levels of our being, and it's very quick practice. And we can do seated meditation, and they are very beneficial, but we get much more power when we do standing meditations. So I used to do seated meditation for many years, and I still do occasionally, but really my focus now is on standing meditation because of the power that you get and the way that this charges that lower dantian and your kidneys. So once you learn how to do this, you can bring this into your morning practice or any time of the day, really. Remember, it's always best to do these practices a few hours away from eating food. That's why I do it first thing in the morning before eating. And people are saying, well, now you're giving me so many techniques. How do I fit it all in? You can have a good morning routine that's anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes I would say the minimum would be about 20 to 30 minutes. And then you have longer time. Some days you can do 60 minutes or whatever you can do, but make sure you include this standing meditation routine into your daily practice. 5 minutes is a good start for the tree, standing like a tree. And if you can do 2 minutes of the horse stance, that's excellent. So start wherever you feel that you can, work from where you are, and just be patient. Day by day, your strength grows, and this is going to have a major impact on your ability to get and maintain a strong erection. All right, guys, how else do you include this into your practice? Remember, you want to do a little bit of breathing every day. The good news is when you're doing standing like a tree, you can do breathing practice because you're doing a relaxed abdominal breath and you can count, and this helps to focus your mind too. So you inhale, the belly expands for a count of 5, and you exhale and that belly moves back for a count of 5. And you're already doing deep abdominal breathing at the same time you're doing the standing like a tree meditation. So you want to make sure that you incorporate a little bit of stretching, a little bit of strength training, whether it's push-ups and squats, standing like a tree, the horse stance, and definitely some breathing practice. And we've talked about other breathing techniques in other videos. So there is a way to fit all of this into one day's practice. And if you don't have that much time one day, just focus on one aspect of your practice for 5 to 15 minutes. And on the next day, you can alternate and do something else. So one day I might do 15 minutes of breathing and stretching. And the next day I'm doing 15 minutes of strengthening. And you can alternate day to day. If your schedule is so tight that you don't have more than 15 minutes, just try to get 15 minutes in every single day and you alternate your practices. So you get each practice at least 3 to 4 times a week. And this is how you start to see results within literally 2 weeks maximum. You can start to see results even sooner, depending on where you are when you begin. But if you do this every day, or at least 3, 4, 5, even 6, 7 times a week, the more you do it, the faster you're gonna see these results. So this is what I want to encourage you guys to do, is make this a priority. And the best time is first thing in the morning. You get up, you get yourself washed up, you go to the bathroom, and then you do your practice, and then you eat. Because when you have that empty stomach, it's much easier to work with energy. It's much easier to move the energy, and you don't have all of that blood going into your belly for digestion. If you can't do it first thing in the morning, make sure you do this anywhere from 3 to 4 hours after eating. So I also would not recommend doing standing like a tree or the horse stance practice right before bed, because you get so much energy. And in fact, when you do the horse stance meditation or the horse stance practice, this is like a shot of espresso. So this is another way to avoid drinking coffee, which raises the cortisol levels and has that negative impact on the erection because of the coffee creating more tension and stress in the body. So instead of having coffee, what I do in the morning is, after going to the bathroom, I do horse stance for 2 minutes or as long as I can. And then you're wide awake. That blood has been pumping. It even works the heart very well. So there's a lot of reasons to do these practices. I hope you get the message. And if you do these every day or every other day, you're gonna get the results you're looking for.